What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk Philadelphia. But it's not just a normal episode. It is our last episode before Christmas break. So you know what that means. We're going to make it as best as we can. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Let's go.
Probably try to Rockefeller hover. Now I go to war like a soldier. Yeah. Plus they tried to count me out thinking that it's over. But I got to fight. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight like Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight like Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa with the fight. Yeah, I got to fight. Yeah,
And welcome back. I am your host, Braden Knapp, and here we got a full panelist here today again. Chris Gress, how are we doing today?
Doing all right, man. Ready to talk ball as always.
Awesome. Deja Howe, how are we doing today?
Doing well, glad to be here.
Awesome. Over there on the end, Jaden Torres, how are we feeling today?
Doing great.
Awesome. I know we're getting ready to talk some ball a little bit. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's talk about our Philadelphia Eagles. Why, Eagles, why? And I don't know what the HE double hockey sticks is going on with them, but it's not good. It's been pretty bad, to say the least. The Eagles lose 2 straight to being the Dallas Cowboys, I hate saying that, and the Bears. They squandered a 21-point lead to the Cowboys and also surrendered 281 rushing yards, almost 300 rushing yards versus the Bears. I mean, DeAndre Swift had an absolute field day coming back to probably a little revenge there with him. And then Monakai, that rookie running back out of Rutgers, has just been amazing this season. That wasn't good the last 2 weeks. Pretty terrible, honestly. Obviously there was a few good things with the last 2 games, but I don't know what's happening here. Is this 2023 all over again, Chris, or what is this? I want to hear your thoughts.
Nah, Braden, I really hope not, but just the way it's shaping up right now, I mean, not a ton of positives, but the Cowboys game especially, like, they were up 21-0. They let the Cowboys score 24 unanswered. That just unacceptable. Bears, they got outplayed top to bottom. Just like you said, Monangai, Swift had monster games. Funny enough, though, one of the only positive things coming out of these last 2 games is A.J. Brown. He had 18 catches, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns over the last 2 games. So shout out to A.J. But, I mean, other than that, it's just like, man, there's just not really anything else to really point at that's really promising. Like, the Bears game, they just got rolled, like just dominated. Because the run defense at a certain point comes down to effort. And at a certain point, I just feel like they gave up, and it just wasn't pretty, man. Just nothing really, outside of AJ, nothing too spectacular.
No, well, I'm glad you brought that up because, AJ had a great last couple of games. I mean, we've noticed he hasn't really said a lot too much in the media, has he? Well, because he's been good, hasn't it? Funny how that works. But it's like, it's just confusing because it's like they fell off a cliff almost. I know Deja has a lot to talk about with these last 2 games, and I want to hear it from you.
First of all, you can't be up 21 points and lose a game. That's just extremely unanswerable, I'll say, for both offense and defense at that point. It's everyone. It's a team game, like Nick Sirianni likes to say, since we want to keep Kevin in his position, but we'll discuss that later. It just doesn't make sense. And for the Bears game, they just weren't playing as a team. There was no communication for offense, and I just feel like the players, the coaches, the coordinators, they're just not all on the same page. And it's just going downhill. And it's actually awful to watch as fans. And they should start listening to the fans like they did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty terrible, unfortunately. It's like you lose. I mean, you're up 21 points to the Cowboys. I'm sorry. I'm still not over this loss. I don't think I will be for a while. At least they got a rain last year. But how do you go down? You're up by 21 against the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys. It's your rival. It's almost like what do you do? Like, how do you let that happen? Almost. I had to get that out because it bothered me that it's annoying. But going over you, Jaden, how is these last couple games? I mean, what are your thoughts on all of it?
Well, the Cowboys game, I can't even speak on it. Like, George Pickens caught everything that went his way. And then there was some calls that I'm not even blaming this on the refs. So the one Cooper DeJean play, I was like, okay, that's just terrible officiating. But other than that, purely on the Eagles. That's nothing else. And then the Bears game, that was pure. You just got outcoached, outplayed. Like, there was no enjoyment. Like, there was no highlights. There was no nothing out of that Bears game. It was just kept on going. Bears, like the Kyle Malungai, DeAndre Swift, every run they got at least 6 to 10 yards. It felt like every play. So it wasn't like they just kept on going. It was just nonstop. It was just terrible. Last 2 games was very much like 2023 and in all the worst ways.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Walter Payton wasn't back there. Like, I don't get why it's like I like Swift. Obviously, Swift was great for us. But it's like, as you said, it's like, as Chris said, it's like effort at the end of the day. It's like, what are we doing? But unfortunately, right now, as even he said, it's like 2023 all over again. Is this 2023 2.0? I hope not. But there's some stats that kind of show it. Unfortunately, the offense, I mean, they're 24th in yards, 28th in third down percentage, and 28th in passing yards. The defense is 24th in run defense, and they showed it last game, and the 25th in yards per game. I mean, Sirianni, he says he's sticking with offensive coordinator and Kevin Patullo. Yeah, we'll talk about that one later. And they have a 3.5 game division lead has shrunk now to 1.5 game in all of a span of, 6 days. That's right. What? That doesn't make sense. That's the thing at the end. It just doesn't make sense. Chris, what do you think? Is it just a combination of a lot of things, or what do you think?
And unfortunately, Braden, I mean, in 2023, it didn't really make sense either. I mean, they were 10-1 that year. I mean, that classic game against the Bills where Jalen walks it off in overtime, and then felt like after that they just fell off a cliff. But like, yeah, to your point of this season, it's just like I don't even really know what. Like, you can't pinpoint one specific thing. Like, you can point to like personnel decisions. You can point to Jalen. I mean, I hate pointing to Jalen, but unfortunately against the Bears, that just wasn't his strongest game. He had some missed throws to Devontae. Even the touchdown that AJ caught, AJ kind of reached back. That was 100% like on him. But like, you can't pin everything on Jalen. I mean, yeah, Patullo, he hasn't been. I mean, we've all been screaming it all year. He just really doesn't seem like he's been the guy to call these plays. But then again, I mean, it comes down to Sirianni. Like, what does Sirianni do? Like, I know he's a Super Bowl champ, love the guy, but I mean, Patullo's calling plays. Defensively, you have Fangio, who's still been, can't pin it all on him, but that's the other thing. I can't point to one specific thing. It's been just the culmination of everything, unfortunately, these past couple weeks. And in 2023, they still made the playoffs and they got rolled. So it looks like they're still going to make the playoffs, and the standard for the Eagles now is just so high because of how good they were last year and 2 Super Bowls in 7 years. But yeah, I can't point to one thing that's really been the issue. It's been everything.
It's a lot. I feel like it's not even one thing. Yeah, it's like one thing happens and then another thing. It's like a snowball effect on it. It's annoying, but I mean, they got to get their footing there at some point because there's some games coming up. Next game, let's get our next opponent review. Week 14, they're flying down to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Their Chargers are currently 8-4. It is a Monday night kickoff, another Monday night game. Let's go. The big question here is, will Herbert even play? He had surgery on his non-throwing arm, so we'll see. He's still questionable. Game time decision on that. It's still leaning like he probably will play, but we'll see. Obviously, key storyline is, can the Eagles' offense turn it on in December? And I have the hope that they can, but it's like, well, I mean, Jalen fumbled on a tush-push. Like, what? Like, I keep saying what, but how do you, there's a lot of things. It's like a snowball effect. Things keep happening. Deja, how do you feel about these next game against the Chargers?
Just real quickly, I just want to piggyback back to what Chris said, finding a pinpoint. You have to blame Sirianni at this point as much as you don't want to. You're the coach. If the offensive coordinator is calling a play and you're not in agreement with it, especially looking at what the defense is setting up, why proceed with that? You're the head coach. You can overrule everything, so that's up to you. But going back to the question of the Chargers, I'm just not confident. I'm not sure if we'll beat them with Herbert or not.
because the Chargers are still a good team. They've had some very questionable games, but they also have had some very good games. So, I mean, it's a tough one. Jaden, what do you think for this game?
Well, this game reminds me of the Seahawks 2023 game, which hopefully we don't lose. If Herbert doesn't play and we lose to Trey Lance, I'm giving all hope. But one thing that I do have an issue is Jahad Campbell. Where is Jahad Campbell? Please, somebody find him, please.
And because he did not play the last game against the Bears, and he needs to play this game against the Chargers. Definitely has to play there. And unfortunately, that is all the time we have for the Eagles. That's more of a good thing of recently. We don't really want to be talking about them when they play like this. So good riddance, Eagles. Hopefully they fix themselves. Now let's get into our Sixers, who have been up and down recently, a little 500, a little bit. They've been 4-4 in their last 8 games. The Noel Joel Embiid, he's played 1 game in the last 10, unfortunately. I'm not really surprised by that. But Maxey, I mean, 35 points and 6 assists versus the Wizards. But I really like this Maxey guy. This Maxey guy is fun, and he's exciting to watch. I mean, just his handles, the way he plays, he's filthy. He's filthy. He's not AI at all, but like he has just flashes of that. And even though they're not the best, obviously, but there's a lot of fun things to be had with this Sixers team. Chris, how do you feel about this team?
100%. I mean, the vibe, like where the team is right now to where they were at this point last year, it's like night and day. I mean, like you said, Maxey literally looks like all-star definitely. I mean, not going to win MVP, but maybe he'll get in that conversation. Edgecombe's still been a rookie. Hasn't been nearly as strong as he was. I mean, it's hard to, he can't average 30 as a rookie woes, but still showing flashes. And I mean, a big one that's been really promising is the reemergence of Jared McCain. He's been great, at least from 3 over his last 5 games. He's shooting over 44%. So just love what I'm seeing from him because, Edgecombe's going to have those rookie woes. You can have McCain really getting back to where he was last year to being like, maybe not the second option, but one of like the other premier scorers besides Tyrese Maxey. But overall, yeah, I don't have too many complaints with the Sixers right now. I mean, they took care of business against the Wizards. They beat the Nets, beating these lower tier teams that you should, but still getting it done nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, obviously Joel, it's always going to be a conversation. Paul George, honestly, has been fine in the games he's played, but overall, I mean, feeling way better, especially than they were last year.
Definitely. Well, like the one thing, at least with the Embiid, like not being there, Drummond has put in those shoes. Obviously, he's not Embiid, but I mean, he's had the last couple games of 18 rebounds, 20 rebounds. It's like, what are we doing here? Showing little flashes back when he was an all-star a little bit, which I mean, I'm not going to be mad at. So I mean, it's really nice to see the Sixers, even though obviously they're a 500 team, which I feel like that's what we should expect. But you shouldn't expect no chip this year. It's really nice. And especially as you said, McCain, he's starting to play again a little bit. It's awesome to see. Jaden, who is to you like stuck out the most, at least last couple games?
I mean, this team's all around like solid. They're obviously going with Tyrese Maxey as number 1. That everybody else just follows suit, right? So I think it's every game feels like it's somebody different, honestly, because like you're gonna get the Andre Drummond performance that you've been talking about, the 18 rebounds, which is just ridiculous to even think about. Even still, like Andre Drummond's been doing that for a while, but still crazy. Jared McCain going off. Paul George, I love Paul George, so I'm gonna get my words up. Paul George.
Hey, I was like, I will give credit. Paul George hasn't been complete dog water. However, he's been good. He's been good. We won't be too critical on him. Deja, how are we feeling about these Sixers?
I feel really great about them. Maxey's obviously doing a good job as usual, and they just work as a team collectively, and that's what I love to see the Sixers do because we didn't really see too much of that last season, especially with the injuries we had. But Embiid, before every game, there's a notification of him not playing. And it's like we don't want him on the court. Yay, he's finally not on the court. But now you're just sitting bench and getting paid. Like, I don't want you on the team, period, now. So it's just frustrating with him. But outside of that, the team looks really good this year.
They do. I mean, there's flashes of, like, at least for, like, future, maybe like a couple seasons, this team could really be something, man. They really could be. But now let's not worry about next season. Let's worry about next couple games here. The upcoming schedule, let's take a look at it. Their next game is versus the Warriors. Ooh, Jaden's eyeing that one up. And then they go following at the Bucks. Shouldn't be too since Giannis wants to get out of there. And then follow and shoot with that against the Lakers. These actually will be a fun couple games to actually watch. This will be a nice stretch here, but a tough stretch to say the least, definitely. I mean, Jaden, I always go to you. How do you feel about next game? Sixers, Warriors here? You nervous or how are you feeling?
Not nervous, I can tell you that, right? I think that the Warriors are going to win, right? I think this is going to be, since they played the Nets and Wizards recently, I think this 3-game stretch is where to find out where the Sixers are in general, right? Are they a threat to anybody, or are they, pretenders that can only beat up on the small teams? So I think this can be the notice of where the Sixers are, and I think they might win one game if they're lucky. One game if they're lucky. Not the Warriors game.
That Warriors game.
Steph dropping 30. Jim Butler dropping 25.
Yeah, I was like, that wouldn't shock me. That would not shock me. Deja, how do you feel these next couple games are going to go?
Yeah, I have to agree with Jaden. I think this is going to be a big staple for them and be the determining factor, and possibly we could see a lot of their potential here. I am going to have to disagree. I think they'll win 2 out of the 3 games because they're just performing very well. I feel like we can beat the Warriors and the Bucks. The Lakers are probably my biggest concern if I had to choose one.
I agree. That'll be a tough one. LeBron's back.
Yeah.
We'll see with next time. But that's all the time we got. We will now move on to our Flyers, who have been fun to watch. They've been flying upwards recently. They're 5-2 in the last 7. Obviously, Trevor Zegras been amazing this year. Leads not only the team in points but assists. And their next game is December 3rd versus the Sabres. Unfortunately, they just lost the last game to Pittsburgh. We won't talk about that real quick. We'll just move over there. Unfortunately, though, in that game, one thing to note, Forster did go down with an injury. Looks like a little tear in his elbow, it looks to be. See, there's no complete timeline right now. It just looks like he's going to be out for an extended period of time. So unfortunately, this is not the greatest. But, I mean, Chris, besides the last Penguins game, I mean, it's been fun here watching the Flyers, hasn't it?
100% outside of that Penguins game. Right before they played the Devils on, I want to say, Saturday, and they took care of business against them. The only thing that's interesting right now with the Flyers is they have so many overtime wins. And I mean, that's good. They're getting the job done. No worries with winning. But, we'd like to see them finish a few more in regulation so they don't give the other opponents some points. But, I mean, the Forster thing is really brutal because he's been – Zegras has probably been their best player, but Forster's been right up there with them. I mean, I saw a clip or an interview before that Penguins game of Sidney Crosby himself saying that he thinks Forster is the future. So, I mean, as much as we don't like Crosby around here, that's high praise from one of the game's best. So, overall, the Flyers they're a fun squad. I mean, you mentioned it, 5-2 over their last 7. Got to bounce back from that Penguins loss. I mean, Sabres are no cakewalk, but I mean, if they keep doing what they've been doing outside of the Penguins game, I think that it'll be another, at least a close game for sure.
I agree. I mean, the Flyers, they have a better record than the Sabres. I would say they're a better team than the Sabres. Obviously, you can't just write them off for nothing. But it should be interesting. Obviously, without now Forster, I'm interested to see how at least the team handles that and how the line changes and just all that stuff, how they affect each other. Going to you, Jaden, how has it been watching the Flyers recently?
I feel like every episode's a new different thing with the Flyers. Like last episode, we were talking about how they were out. Yeah, they were struggling. They were out the playoffs, and now 5-2, back in the playoff picture. I think they're the 3 or 4 seed in Metro, so it's still really good overall. So it's been fun to see, but as you said, get more wins in regulation is a big thing. I feel like that's their struggle, is that their offense is there. There's no debating that. The defense, it's the thing to work on, honestly, to be able to go to the playoffs and go deep in the playoffs.
Definitely. I would say that, as you guys just touched on it, it's those overtime win, or don't get it to overtime, is to win in regulation. Because as we know, we get down to, okay, let's get back down to the end of the season. That stuff really won't fly. And those teams that are like only winning a lot of the games because of like in overtime, that's just not going to fly. Or at least if you make the playoffs, you're not going to be a good playoff team. Like you got to get yourself situated at least a little bit. But as we said, this isn't like a Stanley Cup winning team as it is. Like at least I don't think so. Not the biggest hockey guy. However, they have a nice like foundation here, and Foresters is one of them. I feel like to build upon. But obviously they have Sabres and Avs next. How do you feel about that, Chris?
Sabres need to get that done because Avs, comparison I could say is they're like the Thunder of the NHL. They have one regulation loss. Nathan McKinnon's one of the best players in the world. So that's going to be entertaining to watch, but I don't know how competitive the Flyers will be in that, but I think they'll go 1-1 in that stretch.
I agree. We'll see what next time what the Flyers do, hopefully for the best. But now we get to move on to one of our favorite segments, and that is Sports Talk Philadelphia. First take, starting with our first question, and his thoughts on the Lane Kiffin drama. There's obviously so much, here in the sports world. It's a big thing that's happening. Big issue, Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss. Now, the season's not over yet. As we know, there's still a college football playoffs that's still yet to be had, but he has chosen to take the job at LSU. It's a little unfortunate. We'll get on to the rest of the panel here and their thoughts. It's unfortunate that had to happen. At least I just want to say, one thing with college rules that sucks is that he had to say if I'm going to either coach here at Ole Miss or at LSU. So unfortunately, he didn't have the choice to wait until the end of the season. He had to do it. Because also I heard that Ole Miss athletic director was like, I need to know like yesterday. So it's unfortunate that he had to get it out, and look where they are. Now there's a team in the college football playoffs that should have a chance. They only have like one loss all season, but how are you going to win anything when your coach just skedaddle to your rival, by the way? It is a big deal. How do we feel, guys?
Oh, I mean, 100%. You explaining the rules to me before the show because I was thinking, I'm like, why couldn't he just wait till the season is over? And it's just like the principle of it, man. Like Ole Miss is, like you said, they had one loss. They were really, they're a good team that really had a real, they still do have a real shot in the college football playoff, but it's just the principle of it, man. It's very like slimy, and I get it. He's getting the bag. Go get your money. Do what you got to do, man. But how do you think your players feel that worked so hard for you and showed up every day? But kick it to you, Deja. I just that's one of the downfalls of the NIL is it can lead the coaches down these interesting paths.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. It was completely slimy, like you said. It's just inconsiderate for the rest of the team, not just the players. And you kind of like turned your back, and then you mentioned that they're rivals. So that's also something else that they have to take into consideration. And then it was the thing of the players begging him not to leave, and then they're posting on social media about he just like did not care about our feelings. So that has to hurt, being with someone for so long. I don't know. I don't know if he made a smart decision, but what do you think?
Lane Kiffin built up Ole Miss, right? He built that team. So the fact that he got the team to where they are, one of the best teams in college football, right? To go out and just leave that just for money, and also like his son-in-law is on LSU as well, so there's like some connection with that as well. So it's like I see why he left, right? I do, but like the fact that he left and also took like the offensive coordinator with him, so it's like a really bad move on his part. So I think it's a really bad on Lane Kiffin, because like, and it also exposes the college football a little bit, because like why like this should be like how the pros are, like coaching hire should be after the season, so it also exposes that flaw. So I think it's just a terrible move on Lane Kiffin, not only taking the offense coordinator, but building up the program just to destroy it.
It does suck, because you guys say he built up the whole thing, and now, it's LSU, so like obviously it's nice, it's beautiful. Another crazy thing I didn't even know is that with part to defending him, I guess a little bit. I don't really want to like defend him a whole lot, but LSU already had a better recruiting class this year before Lane Kiffin even came. So like that's just the power of LSU. Like in that, like the 5 stars, like all of it, couple like $7 million, like just a little bit. I get it, but I mean, the players that you don't bring with you, because you'll bring us some. I know he's gonna bring some players with him. Like that sucks. And exactly. And we'll see how well this works out. But I know we want to talk about our next one, and we will get into our thoughts on Kevin Patullo's house. If you did not know, Kevin Patullo's house was egged over the last weekend over the bad losses that the Eagles have faced. Some Birds fans drove down to South Jersey and decided to egg his house a little bit. Now, you can't do anything illegal. That's bad. However, I think he got the message. We're not happy. And I'm on the sides of he's got to go, but he's not going. So, at least as of right now. That was something. Wasn't it? that
It
was
is
something.
funny, just like as a headline, but like offensive coordinator, house gets egged, but at the same time, it's like, really? It's like, what are we going to accomplish by this?
Nothing.
If anything, this will probably get the organization to rally around him and be like, oh, like we have your back, because maybe if it's like a counterfire, that's how I'm seeing it. But like, I don't even know, was it like kids or like just some idiots, whoever did it? I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah.
Laughing at it,
No,
so that's what
me
makes
too.
sense.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at the same time, it's like illegal, and
it is
not
a
going to condone
little
that.
bit.
But what about you guys?
I guess eggs being thrown at someone's house is illegal, but he mentioned in the post-game interview that he loves the fan base, loves the coach, just loves Philly. He wasn't really upset about them egging his house, I feel like. I mean, he didn't like that they disrespected his family coming in his environment, which is completely understandable, but I mean, Philly, like the fans are trying to tell y'all what to do, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
It is hilarious to see. It's just like like no matter how bad somebody is at their job, which I'm not saying, but like he's pretty bad at it. But like getting your house egged, it's just like it's inconvenient for him. That's about it. It's just a quick cleanup and that's it. So it's like nothing else can do that. I mean, there's nothing to say other than that.
I know. Well, it's like it is.
Yeah.
He was very well when he was up in the box. Now that you're on the field, it's a completely different
Oh, yeah.
ballpark, and that's just not his specialty. We can put him back up in the box. We don't want him on the field calling plays.
We can't. It's warm up there.
Yeah.
It's
very
warm up
warm.
there. They got heated seats. It's nice. I think they got snacks up there and everything. So I mean,
Probably.
if we're gonna put Patullo back up there, I don't think that's end all be all. My only thing is, I mean, we can talk real quickly of how we feel about him. I'm not saying to fire a coach midseason. I say we definitely gonna ride him out. But I wouldn't be against if he's not here next season. I don't know.
No, I mean, Nick Sirianni is here. I don't understand why you can't at least try to have him call the plays. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously he wasn't calling the plays, but wouldn't be opposed to a change. I mean, because it appears like this year they're gonna ride it out with him. But yeah, it should be interesting, an interesting offseason for Patullo.
It'd be a very interesting offseason, and let's hope that it's just eggs and nothing more. Because I mean, that's one thing. It's Philly. It could have been something that's not eggs.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. But thank you. That is all the time that we have on today's episode. If you would please check out our socials at SportsTalk LTV on X and Instagram. I mean, we appreciate you so much, and especially here now. It is our Christmas season. So if you guys please have a safe and great holiday. We will see you all when we get back. Thank you.